but like the Leafs are near the bottom, and there's good teams above them that they've got to jump over to get to spots. And these young teams out east seem to be playing well. Is there a concern in Leafland?
Yes, there should be, because I think there's a concern because, first of all, I thought there was going to be an adjustment with the loss of Mitch Marner. He's a great player.
Yeah.
But not only the loss of him, but the type of player he was. He's a very, very elite complementary player. And what I mean by that is I think he's a star, but he makes other players around him better. So you think about it. He was the guy on the...
Oh, no. Oh, Winnipeg. Oh, no. You can't try. You just can't in Winnipeg. You just can't.
What's going on? You got me? Or
oh,
you're
back.
What happened?
It stalled.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, all of a sudden I saw faces. I'm like, is this me or you? Okay, let me start over. Where was I at? Mitch Marner?
I don't know. I blocked.
Yes, Marner. He's a unique
we know he's good. You weren't going to replace him, the player.
He's an elite puck mover, okay? A puck transporter. So all of a sudden you've got to adjust your power play breakout because he's a guy who would skate it up and distribute on the half wall. 5-on-5, he'd draw people towards him, and a beautiful pass, and Austin Matthews would rip it home. Matthew Nice, big body, get to the front of the net. He gets a tap in because of Marner. So you're losing one elite player off your roster. I get it. And you replace it, with more depth. Waugh and guys like that, Michelli, who has a little bit of skill, all that type of stuff. So they got to learn to play without him. Austin Matthews knows how to play hockey. He's fine. William Nylander, John Tavares. They kept the same D core. They're 1 year older. I don't know if they're slower, but they don't have a puck transporter. Morgan Riley's a good skater. He's pretty methodical, jumps into the play, but they don't have anybody else that makes, tape to tape rocket passes, 2 zones. Oliver Ekman-Larsson can do it in flashes. He hasn't done it. He's done it in the past, but he's 34 years old now. So I think they need at least a D. And then up front, their depth is really challenged. John Tavares has 11 goals.
He's been awesome.
He's been awesome. And very consistent and a pro. William Nylander's got a bunch of points, but he's William Nylander. Missed 2 assignments last night that cost him goals. Matthew Nice had good points, but he's not a puck transporter. He's more go get the puck and he can make plays. So they miss Marner, and then their goaltending, which bailed them out last year. Stolarz he's had to play as a 1. He's not a 1. He's a tandem guy. And then they had Hildeby play last night. It wasn't his fault. And Joseph Woll has been gone. He hasn't played a game yet. They've just called him up here today. So I think they've got lots of things. I would say for Treat, don't make a knee-jerk reaction. But this team, the Atlantic doesn't have a bad team.
No.
They don't, including Buffalo. I don't think Buffalo's a bad team. I think they got good players. They might not play with like a team some nights, but they got a lot of good players. And they got to sort some stuff out there with Alex Tuch. But I just look at the Atlantic. There's no weak teams there. So, Tampa's woken up, even though they gave up a 7 spot the other night. Tampa's fine. Florida's fine. Boston is a really good team, like team. Like they play a team game. I think Marco Sturm changed I was in Boston last week. He changed their forecheck and their defensive zone a little bit. Took them a little bit to settle in. They lost last night for the first time in 8 games to Ottawa. And that was a close game. It was 5-3. The empty netter. Stützle got 2 at the end. But I look at it, they're in one. So you're getting back to, yes, I still think they can dig out.
They're 2 points out. Let's not overstate the situation they're in. Yeah.
They're 500. They're at 8-8-2. But we haven't seen their best. So I always try and remove emotion. As in the media and the fans, we can have emotion. But if you're in management, you can't make knee-jerk reactions. I could look at Toronto's roster and say there's probably 4 or 5 guys that played to their capability. The rest, they aren't. So what is it? Can you get more out of those players? Which I think the answer is yes. But how much more? That's what Tree has to figure out. Where is his team's best, and where do I add to make them better?
I think the Leafs are effed.
They're about a coin toss right now by most models.
I know, but
and that's
you're
as
a
bad
coin
as it's
toss.
been.
You're a coin toss with a team that's supposed to be as good as they're going to get.
Yeah, like you
Where's
lost.
Like they've been 100 plus. Like Noodles said, they're 100-point team. They're not. They're like 105, 110 every year for a decade. The last time they were at a 50% chance to make the playoffs was 2016. It's a decade ago. Like this is like I get the panic. They're definitely not out of it, but they are in a tough spot, relatively speaking.
Did Marner have a no trade?
Yes,
Okay,
they couldn't move
it
him as
wasn't
of July 1 last summer, and that was 1
you.
year into
Just get to the-
Treliving's
I know.
tenure.
It's so loud.
But
Temple.
boy, you got to look. Sorry, you got to look back on that Marner thing, and it's you could understand how it came about.
Mhm.
That's if in 10 years there's going to people new GMs going.
Yeah.
"Hmm,
But remember, they had a deal for Marner last year, and he kiboshed.
They
It was
wanted
Carolina.
Rantanen. Yeah, it was Rantanen. Once Rantanen got to Carolina, wasn't going to sign there. They were in the mix. They asked him to waive. He said no.
Selfish players.
Earn their no trade.
It doesn't matter. I don't give a shit about that.
The summer before was their last window to move.
Oh,
They had to move him in June 24.
That's not moving McDavid. That's moving Marner, and I get what he meant to the franchise. But once you passed that date, and the guy running things has kind of been down this road before.
Can't lose assets for nothing.
Because you think about what you could have got from Marner at that point, they'd be in fine shape.
Totally.
They'd be fine.
And it was his first year as GM, and they actually had they won a round that year, if I'm correct, or maybe it was
I
we had
understand
injured goalies,
what
but-
led to the decision.
But yeah, and but at the same time, it's like it's the asset management game. We're talking a lot about it now because this team's in last place, and it's like you don't have a time machine. If you did, you trade Anderson at last year's deadline. It's ridiculous that they didn't. But here you are now. So make sure with asset management
same
moving
reason
forward.
that they didn't move Marner. It's because they evaluated the team. The team needed him. We're going to make the playoffs. We're going to run and blah blah. You understand, but for GMs coming up, cut bait.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, we didn't think we saw a deal that made us better. It's like, right, but did you compare that to getting Nick Waugh? Because that's what they got for Marner. They turned it into a sign and trade. It wasn't a walk as a free agent.
Yeah,
but it's like it's a bottom six centerman you got for a 100-point player. You're not winning that deal. Period. Stop.
and you're screwed moving forward.
They don't have a lot of prospects. They still have you've got arguably the greatest goal scorer right now in the game. You've got a really good player, William Nylander. I like their goalies, but one's pissed at his D and the other one's not there. And the D, they went a little too old big grit, which is kind of like a Treliving Achilles heel when you looked at his time here. It was always a little too much emphasis on size and grit, and you lose the ability to move the puck.
Tanev is now out, which is what
you would have expected if you watched Tanev play. How is this guy going to be when he's past 35? Well, probably hurt. Yes, that's right.
I think Trees and
6-year deal there, 4-year. What was it?
He's the frog in the water. It's getting hotter, Dino.
And don't forget, they changed presidents last summer. Keith Pelly comes in and says, the standard is winning. The temperature is absolutely getting cranked up if they don't turn this around soon.
Hey, buddies, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Also, if you could throw in a like and subscribe, it does help us out with what it is we are doing. And check out more at flamesnation.ca.